Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you all? This is Madonna, and today I'm excited to share with you my April garden tour. So let's get started. So if you've been watching my videos and if you've seen my garden before, it was really small, and today I have expanded it, and let's see what's growing inside. Here are some of my vegetables. I still have some banana peppers here. They are really very prolific, really very good. And here I have a garden bed here for my sweet potatoes, my bamboo trellis here, along with the string beans. And if you are curious how to grow your own sweet potato, friends, I have a video there for you. You can check it out later on how to grow your own. And I have some potatoes here and this I forget what you call this, like red beets, and then kales in my pot. Over this way I have my small garden bed for my tomatoes and my bottle gourd. So this one is like a vining cherry tomatoes, or like wild tomatoes. So it starts to flower and fruit, so hopefully we can harvest it soon. And here I have some bottle gourd plants start to climb up, but no flower yet. And I made a separate video for you guys if you're curious also how to grow your very own bottle gourd. And here I have lemongrass. Honestly, I planted this last year and now it grows back again. They're really pretty, low maintenance. And then some strawberry and jicama here, along with this big flower zinnia, and then some Malabar spinach. This one is the green version. And then mustard. If you love to grow mustard, I have a video there for you as well, and I really highly recommend it. Really great for a small space garden or container gardening. Has some basil here in the pot, and some of my pots are really vacant for now, but I'm going to fill it out later on. Still have some sweet potato slips or seeds here that have been growing for like 1 year plus. And then here my garden bed is another big Italian basil, and my green leafy vegetables. I have some mustard, kales, radish, and pak choy, Swiss chards. I mixed them all together and I planted with alyssum. These are really very beautiful plant, but also repel pests. And over this way I planted the same bed that I planted last year, the same as with sweet potatoes. They are still start to grow, but it doesn't climb yet. I used to plant peas here to provide some nitrogen, and this is my beautiful alyssum flowers, are great for pollinators and friendly insects. And over this way, this is where I used to put an arc, but it's really flimsy, so I just planted it with mustard, kales, and a radish. And on the back side I planted some beans to provide some nitrogen. But this is my no-dig garden bed. They are really shallow, like 6 inches, so I'm kind of limited of just how much or how many vegetables I can plant compared to my in-ground garden bed now. So here is my very back garden where I just really plant random vegetables. I have some pieces as well. I have pak choy last year that it really went balding and went to seed, and then some of the seed fell up around it, and when I pull it, and then the spring, they all sprang out. So yes, I'll thin it later. And this part I have some nasturtium and green leafy vegetables like turnips, mustards. I love turnips and mustard, guys. And then some beans. This is the red mustard. I highly recommend it. Really very prolific. Kale and nasturtium. I love this nasturtium. Really great, especially if you can plant it or grow it around early spring. These are really great for pollinators, and you can eat the leaves, the flowers fresh, or you can cook it. And I've germinated some of the Swiss chards to have continuous harvest and supply of greens. And then at the back, I've planted some sunflowers, cosmos, and marigolds for some flowers, because before I have lots of marigolds. Now I kind of scattered around, and I have this, my favorite, the big zinnia. I highly recommend it as well. They can grow very tall, but this one I think it's still quite a bit small, and it already bloomed, so I'm pretty happy. And over here I have pot of bok choy. It starts to flower, guys, and I'll harvest it later. Even though it flowers, it's really still very good. You can eat it raw or cooked. I have some few here as well, and I think this is chives or onions, and have planted next to it some lettuce. And then next to it, it's my first time ever to plant cosmos, so it is really very beautiful. I love the colors. And these are my extra strawberries and some more tomatoes on pot. They are really like cherry tomatoes. And then this area is my expanded garden, which I have like 4 different kinds of bed. One here, my second bed is made up of different kinds of green leaf vegetables like lettuce, turnips, peas, mustard, kale, salad greens, and I have some more bok choy. Over here I kind of make, have you noticed there are some insects? I really love them, so I planted around some onion greens and sage. I could really tell that my harvest from my ingrown beds are really much better than the noddy garden, because the roots, I think, of the plants was able to have more freedom to grow. And over this way, my first one, our ingrown bed, is the kales, peas, and different mustards. So I planted along with them in rows. So I'm really pretty happy with the ingrown bed that I have right now. They're really very prolific and much productive. Have some peas around here, and then I have some mint that I put in the pot, and just to dig a hole and put it on the corners or the perimeter of the garden. And then some more mustard. As you can see, guys, my soil is really sandy, so it does take a little bit of work to make the soil more protective and fertile. It was a challenge. If you seen my first video on how I started my garden, I amended this with compost and a fertilizer in order for it to be workable and be able to plant. I have some sunflowers here that my daughter planted, so it is so nice that it blooms already. Some more kales, and in my third bed, in-ground bed, I planted some different kinds of tomatoes and onions. basil and peppers. So now my tomatoes are already start to flower, so I'm pretty happy. This is my pepper and basil. I highly recommend large Italian basil leaves. They are really very good. And I have some potato here that I planted, and I'm so excited and happy that it starts to flower already. And these are, I think, purple potatoes. So here it goes. And I have planted some, along with it, some radish. Radish are really very shallow and very quick and growing. And along here on my tomatoes, I have planted some nasturtium. So you see, guys, it already starts to flower. So what are you been planting or growing in your garden today? Please comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you. And here I have some more string beans. I'm climbing already, so I'm pretty excited. I hope we can harvest soon. And here, guys, I was so excited to share to you because I thought at first I was growing acorn because I have rescued one squash plant that sprung at this very early spring. So I planted it. I thought it was acorn, but I guess this is a jack-o'-lantern, and I was surprised. This is my first time to grow that type of squash. And over here I have some butternut squash. So happy they starts already to grow. I've decided not to climb them vertically this time, and I just put some what do you call this, boxes or cardboard boxes to protect them. I have some kabocha here and like yellow squash zucchini. I have some Brussels sprouts as well. They just starting to grow. And let's see, this is my little kabocha, guys. And yellow squash. Yeah, I use more here, butternut. Start to pollinate it, hopefully. And here I'm excited to share with you guys, I have a scallop squash. This is really exciting, and at first I'm kind of nervous when I saw those squash vine borers. So for like 3 days I've been collecting their eggs that was stick on different parts of the squash, and it was a challenge because the first time or the first season that I grew squash, I lost all of my plants and I wasn't able to harvest anything. So it was really a lesson learned for me. And here in my big pot I have corn and Tiny Tim tomatoes. It starts to flower already. This time I just planted a few of Tiny Tim because I already have some tomatoes in my in-ground garden. It is really very different now, my garden, because it changed quite a bit. I have some lemongrass more here and then taro, and I planted along with peas here on the very back side of the garden because as it begins to season turns to summer, the season here in Florida, or the weather, it becomes really very hot during summer. So here is the very back or front side of the garden. I use netting, and then I have some strawberries here, guys. I will show it to you later how I planted them. I put it up here on my metal divider. This is where I used to grow my bottle garden squash. Now I decided to put strawberries here and use some cardboard boxes and some big stones to prevent from flying it around. I have some few strawberries here. I think this is like Albion strawberries, and I have some few other kind of strawberries. The one that I recently planted, it says that they are ever bearing, so I'm excited for them to bear fruits. And it's my first time as well to grow them. And this is my messy areas where I propagate or have my indoor plants or my little seedlings that I grow before I put them on the ground or in the garden. I have some mint here that I propagated from last season, and some little succulent and indoor plants. So they are really pretty and lovely. Their smell is really very fresh and relaxing. I have some aloe vera here that I put in the pots, and they are doing pretty good. So there you go, guys. That's all for the April garden tour here in my small backyard garden. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And if you want to watch more videos, I have a whole playlist there for you. You can check it out on what kind of vegetables you will love to grow or learn to grow in your container gardening or in your small backyard garden as well. So have a great day, and bye!